This is Sido Kaiba, and thanks for listening to It's Recording Time Media, the most pathetic show you could listen to. You really should be listening to something I do, like KaibaCorp.com.
I know, yeah. I think people waiting, where he's coming.
Yeah. Cool. Let's have our first question. Come on up.
Hello again, Tabitha.
Hello, Duckling. How are you?
Doing very well.
Good.
I have a question for all of you. What are your least and most favorite characters? It doesn't have to be from the My Little Pony show, but at least any show. Like, what is your least and most favorite?
I love Merida from Brave. She's one of my favorite characters. I'll just go right ahead and say that. And I love Trixie from MLP quite a bit. And I love all of the characters you guys play, obviously. Yeah. It's cheap, but I had to go there. Moana from Moana. Yeah, she's also my niece just loves that show, so watched it many a times. Yeah, well, pretty much all the Disney stuff I just love, so we all know that. So
David Spade, Emperor's New Groove.
Solid.
I love that movie so much.
Advice.
I love David Spade. I'm drawing a blank.
Take your time.
One of my favorites, I just started rewatching it again, but would be Dr. Venture from the Venture Brothers. James Urbaniak does an amazing job, and that whole show was a sort of we talked about our inspirations for voice acting and acting in general, and when that first came out, which I think was the early 2000s, that was another kind of revival of my love of animation and voiceover, because it was in that sort of first group of animated shows where it was like, oh, this is for adults. This is like grown up, like more mature animation. It was where all like the people who had grown up with the 80s stuff were now in their 20s and 30s and were making cartoons and were like lampooning them and making fun of them and kind of working them in. And I was like, oh, this speaks to me on deep levels. Oh, wait.
Yes.
So good.
Well, thank you for your question.
Thank you for the question.
You're welcome.
My question is, has there ever been a time in a recording studio where it took ages to do a recording and you just couldn't get it right or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes, especially at the beginning of a show, when they're just still figuring out between the producers and the director and the writers and everybody what they want the cast to sound like, sometimes we will maybe go overtime and they don't want that. So they really try to get you focused really, really fast, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. And you end up taking an extra hour to get one episode done, and often that kind of thing, they'll just go back just later and redo stuff.
Yeah.
It's called pickups. But sometimes you're like, when are we gonna get out of here? And sometimes it doesn't have to do with the actors, it might have to do with the other side of the glass. Where they're in the room and going, what do they want from us?
It's always
because
always
they're
the
not
other side
saying
of the glass.
anything. So there's that too. Yeah, it can take a while.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the question. Good question.
Hello again.
Hey.
Now, this may or may not be a question on everybody's mind, but it's certainly on my mind. Let's face it, we knew this was coming, that MLP, Friendship is Magic, is coming to an end. But the question is, what's next? What should we expect? Are you guys gonna be voicing in the next generation, Generation 5, or what?
Even if we knew, we for sure couldn't tell you.
like even in your life when, and not to get heavy, but when something dies, you're like, okay, all life should cease now because this,
Yep.
and it does, and things just keep moving and moving. The universe is just throwing things at us left, right, and center. So, I loved the time that we had doing it, but honestly, I think the future is going to be even better. No clue what it's going to be.
Let's just be thankful it's not like The Simpsons.
Oh, I don't know. I could stand to earn $1 million an episode. Couldn't you?
I might have to say no because of my scruples.
Yeah, no.
They're so yellow.
I wouldn't mind being on a show for 30 years.
That's right, I went there.
You might. You might. Thank you.
get there.
You're still young, Bill.
I'll go take those photographs with my millions of dollars.
When I was 40 years old, I played Little Red Riding Hood.
So last week.
Last week. So 2 hours ago, I played Little Red Riding Hood in Into the Woods, and I started having nightmares about me in kids' dresses getting older and older and older, in little tiny kids' dresses, so you kind of. You do have to change.
Yeah.
So I had a little kid's voice for so long, and and I was about that big. Can't stage, yeah.
I think I saw Tabitha when I was going to musical theater school in Toronto at Canadian Stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the woods. Yeah, totally. Sorry.
Amazing.
But we had a great 10-year run, didn't we,
Yeah,
guys?
I mean, this is a fantastic show, and the thing I love about this show is that the fandom has come together over this generation of the show, and it's only going to keep growing and evolving itself as well. You guys have made so many friendships. Friendship truly is magic. Like, I see people all the time coming to these conventions who have never met in person before and finally get to meet each other, and people who are bringing things to get signed for their best friend who lives in Bulgaria and stuff like that. And it's a beautiful beginning to these relationships. And so those are going to be nonstop and never ending. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. Okay. Thank you for your
Thank you.
question.
Thank you, and to answer your question on who was doing the bird noises in the crowd.
Oh, way to rub it in.
Yay, stupid Yay,
Take that, Kazumi.
No, I never tried to.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey, Bill. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
The way I like to begin this is like to give a compliment to everybody on the panel. I didn't do this last year, and I regret that every moment, so I'm not going to skip anybody. So, Shannon, I absolutely love you as the voices of Smolder and other characters you've done on the show.
Thank you.
Kazumi, you have such a beautiful voice and did a wonderful job with Octavia Melody. Rebecca, love you as Sunset Shimmer. Tabitha, we love you as Rarity, probably Best Unicorn, and Luna as Best Princess.
Bring it home strong, Taylor. Come on.
And my friend Bill Noon, Best Pony of Shadows and Best Parents on our show as Bride Mac.
You got it.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, dude.
Now I feel
Praise the me.
So my question for you guys is, did you ever have a character on any show that you worked on that made a positive impact on your life in particular?
Oh yeah, I got one. It's the show that Kazumi and I are working on now because it's the first time I've ever had regular work. And that's partially a joke, but also true. It's that first sort of job that where outside forces tell you that you're doing well, like you're doing the right thing. Like somebody liked my stuff enough to get to the callback stage, to get to the booking stage, to put me on the series, and I get to work, like, it sounds, and I've heard this so many times from other voice actors as well, and now I know it's true, it sounds so Pollyanna-ish, but it's just like when you go to work, like you get to work with wonderful people, like all of these people here, and we miss it. Like we've been on a little break for our show, and we've been messaging each other, and Kazumi and I took a picture like yesterday and sent it to our co-star Alicia, and we were just like, we miss you. But it's really true, because it's it's not just doing what you love, but it's doing it with people that you love as well. So, like that show that I'm on now, I've had many positive experiences, but that was one where I was just like, I think I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's the first time that I've had that. So for me, that's that. That's that one.
Noise.
It's pretty nice.
You say outside forces
Nice.
gave you the approval, but honestly, it really does. You don't maybe realize it, but it really does happen in reverse. You kind of get your ducks in a row, and then you get that mirror back. And you may not know that you're doing it, and it may seem like a great big struggle, but you know, it's actually you do it.
The mirror
and then
is a
it
really
goes-
good analogy because
Yeah.
it's like I can't really see like my whole self, but then you look in the mirror and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I had it
Yeah.
together, and then you see it reflected
Yeah.
back, and you go, nice.
But you can't like soup it up in the mirror. You can't change the mirror, right?
Yeah.
It'd be really nice if you could. But you gotta just sort of, it comes from you first, and then the world goes, whoosh, that's what you look like. Yes, please.
Just get it. I think just getting to do this job, because all I ever wanted to do as a kid was to tell stories and be a performer. And I think it's such a blessing in life to be able to go to work every day and do something that you love. No matter what that is, whether it's acting or writing or anything in life. So I think just getting to do the job that I love, it just makes me so grateful every day. And I think just getting to work at it every day just makes me happy and changes my life for the better.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you guys very much, and happy Easter, and God bless you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you, Taylor.
Happy Easter.
Speaking of Easter,
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Legends of Awesomeness, the actor who plays Poe, I'm blanking on his name, but he told a wonderful story where his agent came to him and said, hey, I got great news. I got you lined up for an audition for this new show. You're going to be doing Jack Black's part on Legends of Awesomeness. And he came back at his agent and said, I've never done Jack Black. So he spent the next week watching every Jack Black movie and music video and whatever else. So for anyone on the panel, I'm curious, is there any TV shows or movies or anything that you've watched specifically to cram on either a particular voice or a type of voice?
Every audition.
Yeah.
We often get like a list of people who they would like, the writers envision the character sounding like. And so you go, and thank God for YouTube, my friends. Like we research pretty much every single audition we get, because you have to know the tone of what the writers are looking for. We don't get a lot of information. We get a character description. We get about 3 or 4 lines to say usually, or maybe if we're lucky or not lucky, 3 pages of dialogue. Usually you often don't even see what the other characters are saying, so you don't even know what you're responding to or any description of what's going on in the scene. And so if they say they want you to sound like this, you just take all the information that you can and you go there and you take that opportunity. So yeah, definitely cramming. But one in particular that I had a fun time doing, which wasn't even voice acting related, I was doing a show with a band. We performed at this big club at Halloween every year. And we were about a 10-piece band, and we were doing themed costuming. And one of the girls in the cast, because we were doing Star Wars as our theme, and this was before the next generations of like the prequels came out and everything, so she was a shoo-in for Leia. Long brown hair, side buns and everything would have been perfect. I'm like, I'm not gonna be like the girl gets killed by Jabba the Hutt in the first 30 seconds of Return of the Jedi. So, and could I do Yoda? I don't want to do a whole performance on my knees, so I studied and I made myself an Ewok costume. And my husband remembers me being like this close from the TV. Yep, nub, and like practicing Ewok language and learning the song and stuff, and studying like all these like different. She was an Ewok. And so I built a costume and I studied like this close from the television screen. And that was a long time ago, before YouTube.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Hello, darling.
Hello, friend.
hello.
Hello, Roberto.
Well, I have more of a request of your character voices or your singing voices. Can you tell me, in your character, or what is your favorite song from Queen? And if you could sing a few bars, that'd be wonderful, darling.
From Queen.
Man, you just wish you had like a whole chorus of people behind you, right?
I genuinely did.
Yeah.
Woo! Sing it.
I don't know the beginning.
Hey!
That's something you got blood on your face. You big disgrace. Making your can
All over the place. Singing,
we will rock you.
Sing it!
We will rock you.
Mars Pie's favorite song.
Don't stop me now. Having such a good time.
There we go.
Having a ball. That's not my character voice. That's just. Thank you, tech crew. Everybody give a round of applause for our technicians. The people who help you hear and see us.
What a fandom. Even the fans are an act I can't follow. But yes, my voice is probably giving out on me a little bit, but I wanted to say a quick thank you and then my question. The thank you to Rebecca. You were mentioning the difficulty you went through playing Sunset Shimmer's reforming role. I actually have a colleague with a young daughter who learned to forgive a bully at her school, a sort of Queen Bee character, from the humanization of that she saw in Sunset Shimmer.
Wow.
So know that that was worth it to someone.
And the writers, right?
And then the question, which is something Bill brought up, and I'd love to hear an answer from all of you, the idea of working off of people, because we have shared characters here, Rarity, Princess Luna, various others, where, of course, if multiple of you are involved in one character, just as you were with Tara, or you might have been with Andrea, how do you sort of coordinate the characterization and the sharing of the development of that, especially, say, for Princess Luna, who has so little screen time that every little bit of voicing makes so much of what the audience thinks of her?
Well, let me get out my PowerPoint presentation. No, that's a big question. What was the first question?
Like, how do you collaborate with
Another actor, or do
another
you-
actor? Like, if you share parts of the role. or,
Oh,
yeah.
if you share parts of the role, like, so I'm the front of the horse, and I'm the ass of the horse. It's kind of true. When she sings, she's the front of the horse, and I'm the horse's apple of her eye. Honestly, I think from my perspective, I think we just admire one another, and we're all really close, and we're friends, and there's no rivalry, and I think we're just happy and grateful to play the parts that we play, and whatever our colleague, Andrea, she's phenomenal, and so every time she's in the room, I just love to watch her, and I get so stoked to sing for her. It's just not, I guess it's something I don't really think about, because it doesn't feel like, it's
But
your
was
it's
the
a
question?
it's a collaborative.
Was the question though about how you study, or do you work on the role together?
Yes, especially how do you breathe additional detail and characterization into the character and make sure that it's consistent between two actors?
Well, for me, Tara voiced Twilight, and I got to sing for that role, but they kept telling me, just do your natural singing voice. But I do listen to her, and I study her. So if there's any little sort of nuance that she has in her voice, like a little way she'll clip the end of a word or go up, I try to add that in but we don't talk, I don't talk to Tara and go, Tara Strong, how do you do that part? Like, because we don't live in the same city, and there's no, it's no powwow for that. I just have to do the job that suits the role the best. That's my job. And they cast me to do it, so I have to trust that because I keep going, really? You really think so? Like at the beginning, of course, like, are you sure? And then you're like, just be yourself, do your thing. And so the producers and directors know what they're doing.
It's spooky how much you sound like her when you sing.
Sometimes I keep thinking people are gonna, find me out. And be like, no, it really is.
No, we all know.
Oh, we just got a request for Kazumi.
Could you sing You Are My Sunshine?
Oh, all right. You, gosh, how does it begin? You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. Oh no! Okay, next question. That was beautiful. I love it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I appreciate all the work you guys do and that you were able to make time to come to this con and all cons that you go to.
Thank you for having us.
I wanted to ask Rebecca, could Sunset Shimmer sing Walking on Sunshine or your favorite song?
That's a good one. I just have to think if I'm like gonna sound like Sunset or not. I guess I'll just try to sing the song. I used to think maybe you love me, now baby I'm sure. But I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door.
Off in the right key? Was that the right key?
Yeah.
Do you have perfect pitch?
No, I have relative pitch. I have memory. I have good pitch memory.
Oh my god.
I have some
Learning new things every day.
occasional pitch. I have
Occasional pitch.
Yeah.
That was awesome. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask Tabitha, because she's the only one who can answer this. How was it like working on the 200th episode?
Oh dear.
Oh.
If you haven't seen it
What
yet.
can I say
It aired
that
on
doesn't
Saturday.
have spoilers?
Maybe not everyone though.
That's okay. Here's a
Well, we were all in a boardroom. I won't tell you anything about the script, but we were all in a boardroom at DHX, and we had like a big mountain of candy, and everybody was putting that in their faces, and it made the ideas idiosyncratic, let's just say. And I just don't know how the writers put it together, because they asked for an idea from all of us. And every single, I came with a list of ideas, so one of my ideas made the cut. But every single one of us had an idea and a kind of a segment in the thing. And Tara was on Skype, and she was going out for the evening, so she was putting on her makeup in the Skype. So it looked like she was giving us kissy face, which is always lovely. Except one time she gave me kissy face, and I had a great big red lipstick mark, which I saw on the monitors when I saw it later for a whole day. Good stick-to-it lipstick, but anyway, that's beside the point. I don't know what I can tell you. Other than that, it was a lot of fun. And then Josh and Nicole were like writing stuff down, like mad scientists, which was fun. Josh had his hair dyed kind of crazy. Nicole seemed like a really sane mom, and everybody else was mad as a hatter.
That's great. You did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Should I have somebody to steal
So one thing we think that's been talked about a lot on the panel is different animated properties. So I wanted to ask, what is each of your favorite animated property that you have not been in?
Animated what?
Tintin. Tintin.
Tintin?
Tintin.
Whoa, whoa.
What? Je vais être dans Tintin.
Probably Adventure Brothers. And I think it's still going. It's like 4 years between seasons because it's all worked on by 2 to 3 people. So there's still hope.
I don't understand the question.
Oh, so like,
Do you mean like your favorite show that is not My Little Pony that we have not partaken in at all?
yeah, yes, so
Okay,
show,
there we
movie,
go.
anything
There we go.
animated.
But would like to be in?
No,
Oh,
just favorite animated show of all time that you've not been in.
Oh.
You might want to be on.
Oh, I get it now. Like pretty much any Disney movie.
I like her on the Disney train. I really quite liked Rugrats as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was pretty stoked when I found out Tara was in that. So that's awesome. I liked Pepper Ann. And I liked Recess. Yeah! And I liked Hey Arnold. I love Football Head. I love him. And Arthur.
Yay!
Yeah. Magic School Bus.
Magic
Yeah.
School Bus.
Magic School Bus. To the bus. Oh, I started something.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got about 5 minutes left, so we can speed round. Let's do it.
Hi. First, I'd like to thank everyone, you guys, for your work on My Little Pony. I also like to thank Rebecca for her role as Sunset Shimmer. So I have a question for Rebecca. In the Equestrian Girls special, Forgotten Friendship, so we, the audience, we finally get to see Sunset reuniting and reconciling with Princess Celestia. And what I'm curious about is at that moment, reunion and reconciliation, was this something that you know was going to happen for years since the first Equestrian Girls movie, or was it something that the writers only just told you about before they began Forgotten Friendship and it came as a surprise?
It was, I mean, I was hoping for it to happen, but you never know what's going to come until you read the script. And so the fans were like, when is there going to be a moment with Princess Celestia? And I was like, yeah, when? And then it finally happened, and I was like, yay! So that happened like that. It's pretty simple. I just read the script and I go, yay, that happened.
All right, thank you. And again, thank you for your work on Equestria Girls.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
You know, sorry, just to interject. One thing is that you never get introduced on these panels as Wallflower Blush, but in Forgotten Friendship, that was Shannon Chan-Kent playing Wallflower Blush, the evil shy girl. You didn't notice because she's Wallflower Blush.
It's only in character. Anyway, good morning.
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 Shannon, I'd like to thank you very much for singing My Sunshine. Every time I hear that song, I tear up because of a comic I read by some artist who, a Thestral family, one of the night guard for Luna, they made a comic about that where a mother had to give up their child to the guard and she had to fly off and it was really sad, but makes me happy. Anyway, now that I don't have 100 questions for each of you, Bill.
Yes.
I have both a bit of information for you.
Okay.
I have just a question rather, and a request if you're willing.
Well, let's see what it is.
Okay, so firstly, a bit of information. I like to bring this up to anyone who has an Australian accent because I think it's a little bit of funny.
Okay.
You're funny.
Can you say for me, rise up lights?
Oh, you mean razor blades?
There you go. Okay, cool.
No,
You
I
do
know,
know it.
I know that trick.
All right, nice.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know how to speak in an Australian accent with your North American accent, you say rise up lights in your accent.
Rise of lights. Rise of lights.
You just said razor blades in an Australian accent. Well done.
There you go. All right, cool. I'm glad you know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my request.
Yeah.
As Bright Mac, could you please say, Pear Butter, I love you, and I always will.
Pear butter, I love you, and I always will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Hi. If you all
could cosplay as any creature from My Little Pony, what creature would it be? You can say like just a species or the name of the creature.
A sea pony. A gummy. Me too, a gummy.
Changeling. Because then I can also cosplay as anything. It's like the 3 wishes, like you wish for more wishes.
Gotcha.
I thought of doing the Sunset Shimmer when she's floating up and she gets her unicorn horn and like there's that in Friendship Games.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool cosplay, I thought. And I don't know how I'd make my eyes white and glowing.
Just pour paint. Paint in your eyes.
I think I might study up on that.
Thank you.
Wait.
Oh.
Wait. I would like to offer you, as a character choice, that you might want to make a Tabitha St. Memorial Gravy Boat.
All right, folks. So we're just about out of time right now. Give everyone a round of applause. We've learned so much. So don't go anywhere. We've got something coming up next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.